And we get hit with a fucking cold front down here. Isn't that crazy? All right. Is this clear? I think this should be clear, right? That sell will hit TP3 again. I think so. You might be right. I'm on sells too. I scalped it from 88.6. Scalping on the 5 minute. All right, be careful with scalping on the 5 minute, man. I don't that ain't the way to go. Scalping on the 5 minute sounds like a great way to lose money. If you're looking at a higher time frame trade and you're scalping on the 5 minute for an entry, very different. If you're just scalping for the sake of scalping, oof, might be a rough day. I feel like NAS is going to 17K. 17 or 16,700 is the next target. I think I might have deleted this. We are at all-time highs right now. That's insane. Yeah, I think we're breaking all-time highs as we speak. 16,800 is the previous all-time highs. We're sitting at that zone right now. I just want to see a break back inside for a retest and then a continuation. So if you guys were on that review session last night for the NAS100, anyone who attended the NAS100 master classes in 2023, we all had this kind of exclusive session last night to review the strategy, review the markets, and this is exactly what we had mapped out. We had the lows mapped out. We were just waiting for the pump at the market open. Now that we have that, we have the potential entry zones, and all we got to do now is be patient and look for that entry. Not look for it, but wait for it. Which happened during the London session, creating the low. However, I do agree because Wednesday could push further down to create that low before another high. Look, don't try and predict too much. I don't. No one knows what Wednesday is going to do. It's either going to respect these lows or it's not. It's really that simple. It either will respect the lows or it won't. If it does not respect the lows, we have a second option down here at 16,630 that we've been talking about all month. 16,630. And so that's not going to be a surprise if we break through this floor. We have another area right here, 16,630, that we're going to be looking for a trade. NAS should have one more pullback before creating new highs. We'll see. That's kind of what I'm betting on now, but it's not, nothing is guaranteed in these markets. I caught the UJ buys. Roy was marking up. Let's see here. Damn. I didn't check back on this, but this is a perfect example of when you have an 88.6 that gets violated, the market breaks below the lows, and as soon as it starts to break back up, there's a re-entry here, and then there's a re-entry at the 88.6 right here. Missed both of those, the market would have recovered, and of course it hit TP1 and it hit TP2. This strategy works on UJ on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. Entry at the 886, TP1, and TP2. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to this, and I really wish I hadn't pulled up this chart. I'm gonna be honest. And I think I just deleted NASDAQ. Yeah, fucking UJ. Okay. I'm gonna stick to NAS because I have a feeling this thing's gonna be moving quick today. I'm not trying to miss any moves. Welcome back, everybody. We got 13 days left in the year. 13? Is it 13 or 14? I think it's 13 days left in the year. Make sure you guys are taking priority of next year of 2024. Ask yourself, how can I get a head start so when 2024 starts, I have the advantage? I'm not sitting here trying to play catch up. I'm not trying to figure out what my plan is and what, how I'm going to reinvent myself and all that shit. Over the next 13 days or 14 days, you should have 2024 so well planned that there's no doubt in your mind that you're going to dominate next year. If you're leaving it up to chance, like, oh, I hope I feel good next year, I hope I get this and this done, you're not going to be in the best state of mind. Priority is to prepare and get a head start. So ask yourself, how can I get a head start for next year? What are some habits I'm going to leave behind? Okay, let's not wait till January 1st for those habits. So make sure that you guys are taking a priority of your own success because the commitment that you have, the level of commitment you have, is going to determine your success next year. Some of you guys are like, I hope I make it. Now, everybody here can tell what's the chances that person's really going to make it? Probably not that high. If somebody in here is like, okay, I'm committed to doing whatever it takes. I will give up anything in my life to make it. Whatever I have to give up, whether it's a bad habit, whether it's a toxic environment, whether it's a toxic job environment, whatever I have to do next year in order to push my life forward, I'm willing to do. Now, what's the chances that that person's going to be successful? Pretty high. All right, so take those chances. He says gold is falling. Guys, why the fuck do you do this to me? Like, bro, how do you look at this and say gold is falling? What the fuck kind of assessment is that? I'm not even gonna dignify that. All right. Yo, anybody in here, fucking Helen Keller could see that this shit is bullish. You could have spent 5 minutes on baby pips and still known that this was bullish. Is anybody here confused about basic market structure? Basic market structure, which is in a bullish market, the market makes a series of higher lows and higher peaks. Each peak gets higher than the last one. Each low gets higher than the last one. In a bearish market, each peak is getting lower and each floor is getting lower. There's so many trolls in Forex. I don't even think that person was trolling. I think that they're just ignorant. 5 minutes of research. That's the very first day of technical analysis. The only thing about technical analysis is finding direction. He said, let the roast begin. No, I'm trying to keep everything casual. Y'all, I got fucking death threats after yesterday's stream from multiple people. And so whoever in here is sending my fucking streams around and being a snitch to all these guys, I got two messages. Number one, you're a bigger bitch than all of them. Two, I ain't scared of goddamn anybody in this industry. And when I find out who it was sending my streams out to these guys, trying to put me under fire, trying to get me in trouble, I'm going to do you worse than I'm doing these guys. So I hope whoever did it is happy with themselves and is proud of themselves. But yeah, now you got me up. So now we got a real problem. Somebody legit snitched and sent my stream to all these guys. I'm getting fucking death threats saying, keep my broker's name out your mouth. Keep my broker's name out your mouth. Bro, I will rest my ball sack on your forehead if anybody ever threatens me again in this Forex space. All right. These guys are playing fucking, this is like little Einsteins. These guys think I'm about to acknowledge this. When we talked on Sunday Market Outlook, I explained to you guys exactly what I saw on gold. Here's the previous area of structure. We've clearly violated that to the upside, showing that buyers are willing to bid this market at a higher price than before. Buyers are in control. And so I explained there was a shallow retracement option and a deep retracement option. If the shallow retracement holds, this is going to become the buy zone, and we're just going to continue from here. If this area cannot hold and it starts to go under, then we were going to buy it from 1990. So this really can't get any easier than this. Like we explained this on Sunday and it played out perfectly. He said death threats is crazy. Yeah, if they were serious. These guys fucking, they don't even know what they're saying, bro. They don't even know what's coming out of their mouth. They just want to sound, they watched way too many fucking Sopranos. You guys think they're hot shit. Okay. People just say random shit. Yep. Roy, they don't know any better. Can you please look at indice for me? Which indice? He said snitches get stitches. You get it. It's very straightforward with gold. Yeah, I know. Okay, so here's a very important thing because I know there's some new traders in here that don't understand how markets work. So I do have to say some of these things. I know from my experienced traders, this stuff sounds like it's redundant, but just trust me, there are some very, very, I don't even know what the word is. I'm not going to insult new traders, but like guys, if I was to start over, I would just get a fucking course that taught me everything I need to know from start to finish and not just be here on a stream not knowing what's going on. Like, would you guys agree? Matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk to those traders. If you don't know what's going on, go and buy a good course and a solid class on how to trade, and then we can have a real conversation. So from now on, I'm going to speak to the experienced traders on the streams. So I think this is going to be a lot more productive. The pullback is never guaranteed. The entry is high probability. If we get this pullback, the entry is high probability. So when you hear a trader, there's two kinds of traders that will explain this trade. There's one that will say the market will retrace back to my entry. There's another trader, that's myself, saying the retracement is not guaranteed. The market is not guaranteed to come down here, but if it does come down here and it holds, I'm going to be taking a buy position. What's the difference? One of them is speaking in certainties about the retracement, which means that they're likely to do something like trade against the trend, force the sells on the way down instead of accepting the market behavior. And the other person is going to wait for these buy positions. All right. Give us a good place to buy a good course that's not that expensive. Well, head over to the link in the description. Go to live classes on our website, the Chart Addicts FX website, and I am personally teaching this class. And I will personally put my reputation behind the fact that this class will teach you what you need to know about markets. Now, is it gonna click right away? It should, but if it doesn't, all it's going to take is some practice for you to see it over and over again. So what I'm trying to do here is teach the class and then get on live every morning and show the strategy in real time. All right. If you want a pre-recorded class, yeah, you guys can take that one. But at the end of the day, when was the last time that individual was really live trading? When was the last time that individual showed themselves live trading ever? So you wait or make a buy limit order. Well, since I'm here streaming live and I'm doing everything live in front of you, I'm just waiting for this entry and I'm going to take a live trade. I'm not a big fan of buy limit orders because the market conditions are a little bit. So here's what happens. If the market comes down to entry, it can slip through the entry before continuing. Buy limits are a bit dangerous because every time I set a buy limit, I end up getting my stops hit and then it continues. What I'd much rather do is wait for the liquidity grab and enter manually. So when the market gets here, it's going to dip below. I actually enter a lot of my buy orders here in drawdown. I enter manually, but usually when the trade is in drawdown, and then I'll scoop the market back up. So this is personally how I look at this, how I look at trading. Buy limits, not really my thing, but if I was to set a buy limit, it would be the same exact trade. The market determines my entry. Stop loss is determined by this margin of safety below the low, and then my take profits are determined by the previous high. The market has chosen everything for me. The only thing I can affect is my entry. And so I want to have just a little element of control. That's why I like entering manual. I want at least a little bit of control over my strategy. What is it like, 60 degrees there? All right, I'm not going to sit here and fucking pretend like it's freezing out here in Miami. If it dips below 70 degrees, it's too fucking cold down here. All right? That's how I think about it. It's too cold. I'm rocking a long sleeve. If you don't ask, you won't know, I guess. Thanks. Great question, Jaco. YG Blood said, all right, thanks for answering the question, Roy. Of course. My email said there's a call tonight. If you missed the call last night for the NAS100 masterclass, we have another one tonight in case you missed it. All right, so please, again, we do have limited seats in there. So if you've already registered if you already attended last night's class, please don't double register. But if you missed last night's class tonight, I'm going to do another review session. And yeah, my goal is just to make sure that nobody leaves thinking I did not get enough information from this class. I want everyone to finish this class knowing I know what I'm looking for. Now, whether you can find it easily, that's going to take practice. You're not going to go and play with Michael Jordan and then 2 games later be like, oh, I figured out basketball. I fucking solved basketball. No, you got to go practice. But I want to make sure that you guys have all the info you need. So going into 2024, you're not left with this, what am I doing in the markets? And I just don't really get how I should be looking at markets. Last night, we talked about exactly what to do. This morning, it took me about 15 seconds. I found the low, found the high at the market push, found my entry zone, and now I'm patiently waiting for it. What happens if the market never comes back to my entry? Do I force a trade? Yes or no? The answer is no. Most people would rather force a trade because they're so sure the market's going to end up here that they don't care that they're entering in the middle of the trend. They don't care about entering halfway through the move. I don't want to be in a trade. I want to catch a good entry with a good risk and reward and a tight stop loss, and then a lot of upside potential. That's how I make the most money. All right. Player mindset said price is not going to reverse. I'm not looking for a reversal. I'm looking for a retracement. And if you don't know the difference, God help you. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but markets don't move in a straight line, right? So when the market was down here and everybody thought the market was going to end up at this current price, the market did not end up going in a straight line. The market did a series of impulse waves and corrective waves. Impulse waves and corrective waves. Impulse wave, corrective wave. Impulse, correction. Impulse, correction. Impulse. What do you guys think comes next? Fucking jackass. It'll make me have to explain the obvious every time. Like, bro, it's not going to reverse. Okay. Please have a look at US 30. No can do. I have said these before and I'll say it again. Roy is too good for this game. Well, we'll see. The only thing that's going to make me good today is if I don't chase and if I can wait for this entry. And if I miss the entry, to just let it go. That's my game plan for today. Some people, they wake up every day and they're like, oh, my game plan is to make money, or my game plan is to win trades, or my game plan is to pass this challenge. If you're looking at it as I'm here to make money, you're going to find some way to blow your account because you're just going to take random trades. My goal is to follow my plan. This is my plan. My plan is it's either going to come down here and I'll enter the trade, or I'm not going to take any trades today. There's nothing in between. There is nothing in between. So what is your plan? Ask yourself, do you even have a plan? Or did you just show up so that you can make money? Man, stop being too aggressive. If someone asks, all we know that you have more experience than us. That's why we ask here. You are not doing something free here. All we know that this is promotion for your course. Osama, just because you haven't done 2 minutes of research on how trading works doesn't mean you're going to sit here and tell me what to do. Okay? If you don't understand what a higher high and a higher low is, that's literally 5 minutes of the day one basic research. So why would you be asking about if the gold is bullish or bearish or whatever it was? If this is your day one and you show up to a class of experts, brother, have some self-respect and go do the basic research. Day one research. It's all free online. It's all free on YouTube. It's free on Baby Pips to understand how trends work. So yes, am I going to hold you to a high standard because the markets require everyone to have a high standard for themselves? Of course. I'm not going to baby you. But if you're going to sit here and tell me I'm being too aggressive for holding you accountable, go look in the mirror and ask yourself why you're being so sensitive. Y'all, if you think I'm aggressive, wait till you start trading. Wait till you see what the market does to you. People get ruined mentally from trading because they're not prepared for this game. Everybody around them is all talking about oh, it's okay, it's okay. The market is not going to tell you it's okay. It will take your money. After you've spent 8 hours being focused and doing everything right, the market will take your money with zero fucking apology. So build some thick skin if you want to be a trader, or just understand this game is not for you, and that's perfectly fine. My man woke up and chose violence. Guys, how is this violence? How is hearing the truth considered violence? Again, this is the level of sensitivity that people have come to. If it's not all sunshine and rainbows, it's deemed aggressive. Well, grow the fuck up, man. I agree with Osama. Free sauce wins. NAS strategy played out on GU. Let's take a look at GBP USD real quick. Okay, so we had a break, excuse me, a break above the previous highs. Measure it from top to bottom. Okay, here's the previous high right here. The market dips back inside the range, retests the 61, and that's our continuation. The next step for GU is one more pullback at the 88.6. So that's 1.269. 1.269 entry. And that's going to be the re-entry for a continuation. This thing has given up basically every chance for re-entries here. Beautiful work, though. And of course, if you guys want to look at the 88.6 longs, here's the previous low. This thing pushed all the way up. Body to wick. Body to wick. 88.6 double bottom. So we have a W, that famous letter right here. Double bottom at the 88.6 from the previous lows. Continuation, we have TP1. We got TP2. We got TP3. And then we have TP4. TP4 is going to get hit after one more pullback. Cool? Very straightforward stuff. The reason we might not get a pullback is because same thing. We have this previous high here. We've already dipped back inside the range. Now that I think about it. And we've already had that 61 retest. So we might get one more 886 pullback before the continuation. But personally, I want to see the lows get retested. So unless the lows get retested, I'm just going to have to let this thing go. Our job is not to take every trade that shows up. It's if the market does not present an opportunity that's in line with our strategy, don't take the trades. It's that simple. I took sells on NAS today. I thought a retracement was coming. Same. I'm still in these shorts, but this is like a slight position. I was kind of counter trend trading, which is fine. But I told you guys, even I noticed that a lot of the losses I've been having were counter trend trades. So I'm looking at the first opportunity to unwind this position. Patience pays. And the most important thing is I'm still looking for that long. I'm still looking for the retest for longs. It might not happen now, might happen in the second half of the session, though. But none of these people make money off of us. They have a course. But what, he gonna invest your 600 and make millions off you? What the fuck are you guys talking about in the chat? And Osama, I'm not looking for an apology, bro. Don't apologize to me. Like, I don't know you. You don't owe me an apology, right? I'm not responsible for your well-being. Just take accountability. Here to gain correct knowledge on ideal entries, not just copy trades. Well, Reed, I'll be completely honest. I don't do too much education anymore on these streams. I try to, but most of the education is done in the masterclass where I teach my strategy. Here, I'm just looking to set up a good trade, spend the waiting time of waiting for our entry, spend that being productive by teaching about fundamentals and going through market news and really just breaking down what's happening in the economy. So something to learn there. But I do take trades live, so you'll be able to learn. Woke up and chose facts. There we go. If you're Caribbean, the way he's talking is sweet. Exactly. I mean, bro, look. Caribbean, that's bullying. I talked to Caribbeans before. That's just bullying. Like, but what did I do? I took sells on NAS, thought the retracement was coming. A big reminder, the retracement is never guaranteed. Trade with the trend. I put the fib on that bullish move. Are you talking about this one? Because this could be, if we went down to the smaller time frame, from here up, this is the 88.6. So this could be this smaller time frame 88.6 play. But I'm honestly tired of these little fucking 5-minute, 15-minute plays the market is doing. What it's trying to get me to do, because I'm always being self-aware of my own emotional reaction. Because I'm always trying to ask myself, what is the market inspiring out of me right now? And it's inspiring me to get pissed and to start to break my rules on my strategy. And instead of waiting for my entries, to start going into smaller time frames and looking for these sort of 88.6 plays. I'll be completely honest, I have no interest in doing that because I know that the second I start going into smaller time frames, I'm going to lose track of the big picture and start missing the big trades. And so I'm going to keep missing trades if I need to, but I'm going to wait for my strategy. If I don't take a trade for the rest of December, I'm perfectly happy with that. But what I won't do is let the market get me out of my game. I missed the buy on US 30 by 10 pips and had a buy limit order. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Uh, you just proved once you have the skill set, you could analyze any chart. Roy, let's get this money. Yes, I've analyzed a lot of different pairs, and the strategy is the same, and they've all played out from gold to Euro JPY, which we were talking about over the weekend, to GBP USD to Euro USD. It works on every pair. The only thing is managing your emotions. Like, guys, it is just, I'm not fucking Gandhi. It is tough for me to show up every morning for 2 hours in the mornings and just to watch the market leave and not come back to entries. It is frustrating for me. It is the holiday season. We all got to make money. We're all on the same page. So don't get me wrong. It's not easy for me to waste hours of my life and not take trades. This is not fun, but it's necessary. So all I got to do is just focus on my strategy and try to provide as much value as I can on these streams if we're not going to take trades. Because it's frustrating for me to get on here and not take trades. Not really, I can provide value, of course, but not really show the strategy working. All I want is an opportunity to show the strategy working and to show my skills with execution, and it's just not fucking coming back. So that's the patience that I'm currently dealing with. I just want to take a trade, but I can't because I just don't want to break my rules. It's crazy because I'm down 2% on my funded account after being up 4%. I had one bad psychological day, but I'm 100% confident that my wins are coming. Been trading going on 4 years. I've come back before. Tony, you're going to build back better. You're only as good as your next trade. But understand that that one day that fucked up your account will come back again. And so the more time that you spend understanding what happened and how to avoid it, that's going to be a very big key. So make sure you're prioritizing that. Roy, thanks for everything you've done this year. A lot of knowledge gained and growth. Great. I hope so. Do you trade live? Connor, watch a few of the streams. Roy, as next year, all eyes on central banks on who will cut rates first. Who do you think will move first? And how aggressive will the rate cuts be? It just depends on whose economy cracks first. So if the European economy goes into a recession first, they're going to cut. And if the US goes into a recession first, we're going to cut. But to be honest, it doesn't matter because it's going to be a domino effect regardless. America can't cut without everybody else cutting. Europe can cut without America cutting, but I don't think any central bank should even be thinking about rate cuts. Inflation's not gone yet. We have not beat this thing yet. All right. Been on these streams for over a week now. Already learned a lot. So much value just in watching the live trades. Reed, I appreciate you hopping on. I appreciate you taking your future into your own hands and learning something. Emotions are everything. It's the hardest. Walter, I get you. But it's what we got to do. Like I got to sit here for another fucking day and just watch the markets leave the station and not chase the markets and follow my plan. And it's not fun. It's sunny outside. There's a world of opportunity out here. And if it wasn't for the live streams, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I would just be off the charts. I would just say, okay, I'm going to put my alert right here. And I'm going to go and not waste God's grace that he gave me. Another day of life, another day at success, wasting it watching moving lights on a screen if there's no trade idea. But we're on the stream and we're going to make the most of it regardless. Because this is what most days look like. What are your thoughts on 2024? This bull run will keep on going? Yes, it will. Would you ever sign an NDA if you got the offer? Would I ever sign an NDA if I got an offer? An offer for what? Guys, please like the stream. The guy is sharing gems for free. I don't give a fuck anymore, man. Like it, don't like it. Who cares? Roy, do you mind briefly talking about the steps in obtaining a funded FTMO account for someone who has no experience attempting any funded challenges? Vicky, weren't you asking wild ass questions yesterday? But that was a good question, so I guess I'll cover it. Roy, I'm screwed $50 away from blowing another account. I know it all, but I'm still losing. But you don't know shit. If you're $50 away from blowing your account, you don't know jack shit. And just the fact that you are even trying to convince yourself that you know anything about trading, that's where you're going to start off on the back foot. Go in the mirror and admit to yourself that you don't know shit. Take the $50 out of the account so you don't blow it, because you will blow it, especially if you've already accepted, Roy, I'm screwed. If that's how you start the sentence, the person who thinks they're screwed and the person who thinks that they're not screwed are both correct. Your level of belief will determine your outcomes. So you've already accepted that you're screwed. Take the money out and save yourself the headache. Then go get a job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever it takes to go and invest in a quality course to learn this stuff so you don't keep blowing more accounts. Because if you do not learn this, then the story of your life will look like this. You will save money and fund another account after the psychological torture is done. Then you're going to blow that money as well, and you're going to continue to feed this belief system that trading is not going to work for you. And with every blown account, you're going to get further and further away from the confidence that's needed to succeed. So step away, go take this money and go invest in yourself instead. And then you're going to come back once you have unlimited confidence. You understand me? Don't keep blowing the money, because the psychological damage you're doing is gonna hurt your trade. You're gonna have to undo a lot of these bad habits if you want to succeed. So don't keep building bad habits. Take a step back and do yourself a favor. Medicoats has been removing unregulated brokers. Moving to a regulated broker, the leverage is too low. What do you think of trading futures? I think futures have a big potential and a big, no pun intended, they have a big future. All right. Medicoats is removing the scam brokers. The leverage is too low. Brother, how much leverage do you really need? Leverage is a double-edged sword. Back in the day when we had to flip small accounts, I understand how important leverage is. But right now, when I'm trading prop firms, I have a 1 to 30 leverage on the FTMO swing account. I don't need more than 1 to 30. Trust me. How do we register for tonight's call? Guys, check your email, check your email, check your email. We send out emails for everything that we do. And I understand how that a lot of people don't check their emails, but I don't know how else to communicate with everyone that we're doing something. If I want to do something out of the goodness of my heart, like we're going to do a final review session for free. And the only thing I know how to do is just send out an email to everybody and then to have the team spam you guys. And then a lot of people still tell me that they didn't get the notification. So I don't know. We're going to try our best to try to get this information out, but I can't be out here babying people. I think that's just it's kind of tough, man. I've learned a lot from these streams, watching you mark up charts. Okay, cool. Never told me about what until I sent my ID and email, then proceed. Oh, I'm so confused. Can I look at gold? No. Already looked at gold. I'm just waiting for these short positions that I entered to be back in profits so I can close them out. I did enter some shorts before the market opened. I was in on this wick when we closed below. Not too happy. I just want to see a pullback so I can close my short positions and just wait for this buy here. Okay, press the like button. All right. Roy, I've been watching you for almost a month now. You have changed my life. God bless you for giving us knowledge every day. You gave all grace to God, and I'm going to do the same. All grace goes to God. We owe God for all this. All right, because if y'all think that I have the energy and the patience to be putting up with all this, I do not. This is God's purpose. I don't really feel fulfilled when I'm doing this for myself and I'm being selfish and I just cut everybody else out and just say, I'm just going to make my money and go be a piece of shit. It does not make me feel good when I'm in the driver's seat. God says, Roy, you have a mission. Get out here and provide as much value as possible to these folks. Because one day, y'all, I will step away from teaching and I will never show my strategy ever again. And the people that were fortunate enough to get on these master classes and actually learn, you will carry that torch on for the future. You're going to be trading it for the next 6 to 8 months. You will then have the same power that I do to find these trade opportunities and to expose the market whenever it shows these patterns. And then you will be the next generation of traders taking advantage of this algorithmic price action. And so that's my mission right now. And to be completely honest, gave up on this shit a long time ago. God keeping my feet moving because he knows what the mission is. And so that's just the reality of the situation. Humans, we have a natural tendency to be selfish at some point. And you'll realize this once you start making money. You're like, why am I out here trying to start a charity? Like, why don't I just take my money and go make, to go travel the world, go do the things that I want to do? And you realize there's no fulfillment in that. You can only spend so much time on a beach with a daiquiri in your hand before you want to just fucking play in traffic. There's no meaning there. So that's what you guys can thank God for that one. Why don't you trade US 30, bro? Have you traded it in the past? Yes, I have. I've blown more money on US 30 than any other pair, guys. All of us have an obligation to be honest with ourselves. I looked at my results and I realized that I was losing all my money on US 30. So why would I continue to trade it if it was taking all my money? And same with gold. As I was making money on S&P 500 and I was and Euro USD and used and UJ, and I was giving it all back on one gold trade every single time. So for some of you guys, NAS100 is that pair where you're making money somewhere and you keep giving it back to NAS100. So find the pair that's taking all your money and just cut it out completely. And it will make your life a lot easier. Write this for your notes. If you're not taking notes on these streams, you're doing yourself a disservice. This is for your notes. Successful trading is often not about adding stuff. People want to learn more about fundamentals. People want to learn more about complicated indicator strategies. Most of the time, trading is about doing less. So when I eliminated the pairs that were taking all my money that I was losing on, I started to make money. When I stopped trading Mondays and Fridays, I started making way more money. Hold on, I'm about to close out some of these positions, guys, because it's got ridiculous. This one is running negative 200. This one is running positive 140. Once this thing pushes back down just a little bit, I'm going to close both of these. I'm doing this for risk management. I'm not doing this to maximize my profits. I want to de-risk this trade. Okay? That one is closed. And thankfully, I can close that one and break even. Close partial profits on that position and move my stops into profit. Now I have a risk-free trade, nothing on the line, and my take profit is my buy entry. Over here, it's going to be about 40 points away from current price, which would put us at 720. Okay, pretty close. I'm going to be a little bit conservative here. Put my take profit at the bottom of the wick and just let this thing play itself off. Okay. That was stressful. Had a few too many positions open, but we're good. And then I'll just wait for the buy entry here. Let me actually mark this off. We got the 1 hour time frame. We have a low and a high. I'm going to go body to wick. We just rejected the 61 fib. I'm looking for price to make it down to on FTMO here. Yeah, 16,720. That's what I'm looking for. 16,720. All right. No guarantee that we'll make it down there, but we'll see. Only one way to find out, right? Pop this up. Okay. Waiting for my shorts up to close as well. Yep. Why don't I trade US 30? Okay, we just explained that. Oh, yeah. So let me just actually finish this off because this is very important. A lot of the time in trading, it's about eliminating the things that are hurting you and not just looking for the things that are going to help you. So eliminating the losing days of the week, the weeks that you're losing most money on, eliminating the pairs that you're losing the most money on, and eliminating the direction, buys or sells, because some of us are a lot more profitable on the buy side than the sell side. So it's important to know which one that you're on. Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. So eliminate the things that are not working. When you guys are doing your final year-end review, which if you haven't scheduled a coaching call with me, that's one way that you guys can use the coaching is if you go to the coaching section here. I want all of you guys to, you can either just choose a plan, go do 1 session, 3 sessions, or 5 sessions with me personally, or you can book a call to see if coaching is right for you. Talk to one of our professionals to see if coaching is something that will actually help you, or if this is not something that you need. But I recommend everyone do coaching, and the way that I would use it if I were you is in 2024 to use it to prep for the year, or if you're going to be using it as a year-end review, so that way you look at all your performance for the year and you're able to identify what went right and what went wrong. When you figure out which pairs are costing you the most money, which ones are making you the most money, you start to eliminate the things that don't work. You watch your progress just start to skyrocket, like taking the emergency brake off of your progress. But if you don't understand what's working for you and what's not, and here's how deep this goes. I look at so many statistics. I had a podcast with Omar, which by the way, you guys keep telling me I look like Omar from Skilled Funded Traders. I had a podcast with him yesterday. We don't look that similar. What's wrong with you people? I even asked him on the podcast. I asked him on the podcast if he thinks he could beat my ass because I see him in there training for boxing. All right. I'm telling all of the Forex traders, you guys do not want to do this trader fight league thing. It's all fun and games until you step in a ring with someone who's trained. And this is not going to be a good outcome for you guys. So I think that this whole thing is cute about the Forex Traders Fight League, by the way, but someone's going to get seriously hurt, and I don't think these guys are ready for what they're getting themselves involved in. Just as a complete side note. But I was talking to Omar about some of the biggest habits he's seeing on his prop firm now that he owns one. And he's telling me that number one, people are losing the most amount of money on their prop firm on NAS100. That is crazy, but we all know why. If you understand the 3-step model, if you understand the heartbeat model, you understand why traders are losing so much money forcing trades. It makes so much sense because any given phase of the model is just ripping money away from traders. But on that podcast, we also talked about what are like the similarities between a lot of the successful traders. And I've had the benefit of talking to so many prop owners over the years and brokerage owners and getting some of this information in the back end. And he's confirming everything that I know to be true about my own trading. Less is more. Trading in the direction of the trend, right? All these things are, and sticking to one strategy and one pair and one session. All the traders that are having the most success are doing all the similar things, people. And it was so gratifying for me to see that and to get a confirmation from my own, I don't want to say my own bias, but to get a confirmation that we're headed down the right track and that this path that I've built for myself that's been working for me for years is the right track that will continue to work by focusing monomaniacally on one thing and becoming an expert in how to trade NASDAQ on one time frame with one model. This was an absolute, I can't wait to drop the podcast. We're waiting to schedule, or we're waiting to finish a few more podcasts before we release it because I want to release them in the right order. I have a podcast with Angela that was supposed to happen this week. I don't know, guys. I want to say people are ducking the podcast, but people are responding to the podcast just enough that they can't say that they're ducking it. So I can't say that so-and-so is ducking because then they're going to screenshot and say, bro, I responded a million times asking you when we should do it and all this stuff. I'm not ducking it. But when it comes time to actually do the podcast, it's a lot of ducking going on. Now, you guys told me yesterday, we put it up for a vote if we should bring on Ted to come and explain his side of the story. He respectfully refused after saying a few things that were not nice, right? I told you guys, whoever is sending my streams out and being a snitch, I'm going to find you. So a lot of people do not want to come out here publicly and answer questions because they know that they're going to get asked the hard questions. In the past, people gave me the benefit of the doubt because I would ask easy questions. Not no more. People are ducking me because they know that it's a risk for them to get on. DT says, be humble or you stumble, Roy. You sound like a hater. So rest my nuts on your forehead. How about that one? Yo, Roy, I'm making sure. And guys, don't let nobody tell you the level of confidence you should have. Everybody would prefer that we were all less confident. Everyone would prefer that we were all less confident because my confidence to an insecure person feels like a direct threat to their level of confidence. To a confident person, you're feeding off of this and you're allowing this to fuel you. Because how can you not believe in yourself when you see someone like me believe in myself this much? You guys get what I'm saying? Yo, Roy, I'm making sure I heard you right yesterday. You said if you passed the final and you got your ticket to Dubai, you would have a private session. I don't know if I said any of that. I said if you got your certificate, you get access to the Discord chat. And then if you guys are a Chart Addicts member, you get access to the 50% off your tickets all the way through into next year. He said, this guy. Well, I'm being dead fucking serious. I don't know why you guys are laughing. I'm being dead serious. Do you guys not believe that I believe in myself? People confuse confidence for cockiness. Yeah, here's the difference. Confidence is based on the work that you've done behind the scenes that nobody else can see, the work that you do when no one is watching. That's where confidence comes from. I've put in more work than anybody that I know of. I've put in a sickening amount of work and in an inhumane amount of work in the back end to work on myself. So yeah, I walk around with confidence. When I'm out here throwing out threats, it's not because I'm these guys who spent too much fucking time watching The Sopranos. They're in my DMs trying to throw threats. I have been in more threatening situations than I would ever admit on this live stream. You guys understand me? So all my confidence comes from real world activity. When I say I can fight, I'm not these guys that's out here watching bodega fight videos being like, oh, here's what I would do in this situation, right? I've fought competitively. I know damn well there's people that can beat my ass, right? There's a love. I'm not cocky. I know I'm not going to walk around the world that I can beat up everybody. That's not fucking true. But I know damn sure that I can beat up these guys in the Forex space. I know enough to know that because I've been experienced enough in hand-to-hand combat to know who I can take seriously as a threat and who's a fucking joke. The difference between confidence and cockiness is the work that you've put in to know for a fact that you know what you're talking about. So a lot of people will tell you to humble yourself, whatever, because they are not confident enough in themselves. They've taken too many losses. They've allowed life to bully them. Not me. When I wake up, life gets scared. When your parents, when your mommy tells you be careful when you step out the house, she's talking about me. Okay? Roy, have you ever traded US 200 Russell small cap? No, my boy, no. All right? No, I have not. It moves quite smoothly. I would recommend folks trade things in the economies that they live. For me, it's very easy to know what the NASDAQ is doing because I use Apple products. I use Microsoft products. I see Tesla's crushing it on the roads, not a lot of recalls. And so it's easy for me to focus on what's happening inside of my own domestic economy. Now, if I have to start studying the Russell 1000, Russell 2000 index, I'm starting to look at international equities. I'm not going to be an expert in international equities the same way I would be looking at US-based stocks. You seem too wild for a trader. Relax. Again, but what makes you think that I'm going to listen to you? Like give me one good reason why I would take anything, give me one reason why I should listen to you. What is your credibility to tell me what is wild and what's not wild? How much money have you made in trading to tell me what a real trader should or should not look like, or how a trader should or should not act? What is your credibility? Because I'll tell you that I've made multiple six figures in trading. I've traded across multiple prop firms, and right now the one with the hardest metrics, which is FTMO, and it seems like this level of energy is working for me. So what gives you the credibility to tell me that this is not the appropriate level of energy for a trader? You guys see what I'm getting at here? Like everybody got this preconceived idea of how people should act and should not act. No one is obligated to listen to shit that you say. And if you don't have the credibility, so if someone I respected got on this stream, like Q, and he told me to chill out a little bit, I actually I have respect for Q. So I'll take that criticism and I'll take that with respect. But if someone doesn't have the results that I want, what the fuck makes you think I'm going to listen to you and go backwards in life? Maybe you should boss up your energy a little bit. Stop being fucking, oh, but me. Says Roy, keep it up. We need that. Yes. Guys, life has beat most people down already. I'm looking around the pandemic years, what's happened the past 2, 3 years. Life has beat down almost everybody around me. I'm looking around left and right. I can't find one fucking person with balls anymore. So yeah, if I got to be out here setting the pace, I'm going to fucking do that. Connor said they won't come, man. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You just got lit up and that was your response. So just shut up and sit in the back of the class, man. Stop bothering the class. Roy, do you readjust your fib when the market makes a new high? I try not to because originally this was the level that I was watching and this was the previous high. The reason I don't want to change, the reason I try to keep it set is because there's an indication here of what the market is doing. So the fact that we have a candle closure above and then we have a retest under and then the body of the candle is closing above, this is actually an indication to me that the market is going to continue. And so if we keep our fib the same as opposed to keep moving it, we'll have a very accurate idea of where the highs and where the lows are. Now, if the market starts to retrace aggressively, if it starts to retrace back down and I realize that this was the high, that's when I'll adjust it. I'll move it just like this, and I'll have that 650 price instead of 750 instead of 747, right? So not too much of a difference here. Bro, change your pick to right after 3 minutes. I saw you on upside, got scared. I don't know what the fuck anybody is talking about anymore. Jesus Christ. How many home they own and real estate they own? Says, wow. Roy, what are your thoughts on the recession that's coming? How bad do you think it's going to get? If we look at all the metrics, if we go to the Federal Reserve's website and we look at their data, it doesn't really look like we're headed into a recession as of yet. The first thing to watch is going to be the unemployment rate. So if you guys see, even through the 50s, the low side of the unemployment rate is below 3% or around 3%. But every time the market is about to hit a recession, these gray bars represent recessions here. Right before that, the market typically hits an all-time low. Okay, not an all-time low, but a historical low in terms of the unemployment rate. Unemployment means that everybody who wants a job, who's able and willing to work in the civilian non-institutional population has a job. So you guys can see right before the 08 financial crisis, we're sitting at about 4% or 4.5% unemployment. And then we had the recession hit and we jumped up to 10%. Right before the pandemic, we had record low unemployment. Shout out to Trump. 3.5% unemployment. The economy was doing better than it ever was before. Shout out to Trump. And then we had a massive pump up because of the coronavirus response, 15% unemployment. Since then, we've been able to meaningfully come back, and now we're sitting at those record lows again. So the economy is sitting at a stable enough place that we can't have a recession while everyone's got a job. And so unless the housing market cracks, we don't really have a recession. Now let's look at another metric, which is GDP. The GDP measures the size of the economy. So the economy is either growing or shrinking. You either have an economic expansion or you have an economic contraction. And so let's see if we're in an economic expansionary cycle or if we're in okay. Historically, the GDP just continues to climb. Let's look at since the 2020 crisis, the GDP has continued to grow. Now, gross domestic production involves the overall production in the economy. This includes imports, exports, manufacturing, retail, sales, and everything in between. And so this is caused by a lot of things, but specifically, we've been exporting a lot more oil as opposed to importing it. We printed a lot of money into the economy, and so just overall size of the pie has just grown. And so with a healthy GDP trajectory like this, where we're still climbing, with the employment situation still positive, and then with inflation coming down, it doesn't really look like we're going to head into a recession unless the Fed continues to raise rates or continues to hold rates high. So here's what next year is going to look like. If Jerome Powell keeps rates high, but does not raise the rates or lower the rates, then I think that we don't go into a recession. If he does nothing different and the market already expects this, and he just keeps the rates high, If we go into a recession, it'll be in the second half. It'll be in Q2 or Q3 before we even start seeing those signs. If Jerome Powell starts cutting rates, we're going to see inflation jump to the moon. All prices are going to start to go back up. So we have a very delicate situation next year, and Jerome Powell is kind of playing games with us. So January, I think, is going to be the best time for us to hear from Jerome Powell. Usually in December, Jerome Powell is very generous. He does not panic the markets before the end of the year. It's called a Santa Claus rally, which is what we're seeing now. Santa Claus rally, everybody opens up their Robinhood, they're rich. Everyone opens up their Coinbase, they're rich. You go and check the equity in your house because housing prices are at all-time highs. You feel wealthy. People are out here spending in the economy. They're building this positive reactive cycle. This is a concept that George Soros first coined called reflexivity. This kind of turns, like traditionally, if you guys go to school for economics, what you'll learn in day one is something called the efficient market hypothesis, which is kind of like the bedrock of economic theory today. It's the stupidest and the least accurate theory of all time. Okay, the efficient market hypothesis. Basically, it says that the balance between supply and demand is efficient. And if the prices get too high for something, eventually it comes back to the average because supply and demand dynamics will naturally take care of it. Now, what we've learned is there's no such thing as natural supply and demand. People are buying meme stocks, and the more people that buy meme stocks, the more people that buy meme stocks. It is a self-reinforcing thing. And so the idea of reflexivity is everybody now is positive minded about their ability to keep spending. And so they're going to continue to spend. It's reflexive. And because everybody continues to spend, we don't go into a recession. We can go into a recession by getting scared of a recession. So here's what causes the recession next year if we do see it, is everybody starts talking about recession fears. And so all of us start thinking, when you're in traffic and you're listening to the local radio and they start talking about recession on the rise, all of us start spending a little bit differently than we used to. My break even got hit on the shorts, by the way. Everyone starts spending a little bit less than they used to. We stop going out as much. We start eating in as opposed to ordering out. And then everybody starts being scared of a recession, so we stop spending, and that's what causes the recession. It causes a slowdown. Now, because businesses are not seeing as much flow, they start to lay off employees, which makes the recession worse. And then as long as we have this cycle happen, we can go into a self-induced problem. That is the theory of reflexivity, is that we're going to cause a recession, if anything. But the numbers right now are very stable, and they do not show that we're headed down that route. I don't even trade NAS100. I just come here to gather up information and listen to this young man. Well, Andre, I appreciate the support, and I hope that you're learning something on these streams. Devontae says, you're doing great, Roy. I appreciate the support, Devontae. It means a lot. Roy, what's your thoughts on the recession that's incoming? Great question. Good stuff. Bro, change your pick right after 3 minutes. I saw you on upside. Got scared. Bro, change your pick to right after. Kron, what the fuck are you saying, bro? I feel like I'm dyslexic sometimes, but then I realize some of you guys just have marbles in your mouth. How long did it take you to become profitable? Oof. A lot. A lot. Years. Because I made a ton of mistakes. I had some mistakes that were positive. So in 2016, I was investing in cryptos. I was just a college student. I was reselling shoes at the time. So I would sell a bunch of Yeezys. And I was a very successful shoe reseller, by the way. I had tens of thousands of dollars of inventory sitting in my college room in my apartment. And I would be traveling to California and New York and all these different events, and I'd be selling shoes, and I'd be making tens of thousands of dollars from doing that. I invested a lot of my money into cryptocurrency. And in 2017, I saw multiple six figures floating on my screen. I had a good friend of mine that ended up joining our team, and he had seen millions of dollars on his screen floating. Okay. And we were both getting very arrogant, thinking that this was going to continue, that I was going to be a millionaire and he was going to be a multi-millionaire, because we had seen people in our circles come very close to making millions of dollars. And we thought that we were next. And then in 2017, the market retraced all the way down, and I pulled out something like $9,000 as opposed to multiple six figures. That was a major learning lesson for me about taking profits, about not being arrogant. In 2017, I had a friend of mine, we were working at the National Institutes of Health We were working as sort of like private assistant stuff for this third-party contracting company for Dr. Collins and Dr. Fauci. And so we were just in there doing tech work in these offices with the NIH doctors, kind of just sitting in these meetings. And basically, it'd be Dr. Collins and Dr. Fauci and some of the other researchers that had the money. And then it would be doctors up on stage doing the monkey dance, trying to get money for their next funding project. And then we would just be there providing tech services. Long story short, we were all looking for a way out of that bitch. So we're investing in crypto and doing these things. My friend joins IML, shows me Forex. Forex to me was a way to look at the game of the way that the world was working. Look at the incentive structure that pushed central banks to make decisions, and to be able to put my money where my mouth was, to be able to bet on these geopolitical events, because I started to get really good at predicting what's going to happen next in terms of how these political events were playing out, because I understood the intentions of these different central banks and what they really wanted and how they're likely to react based on the data. And he showed me I could bet money and make money off of these bets and off of these guesses. So that's what really drew me to Forex. I had no idea what I was doing. The IML people, they never taught about risk management. I was taking signals. I'd make some money, lose some money, blow it, not blow it. Eventually, I realized the only things I needed to do to succeed at trading, because I had taken a lot of time to study this stuff. And I had a lot of very good teachers at the time that taught me about markets, even before I joined the IML. So I knew about technical analysis, but I still need to learn about myself and how to take trades and not over leveraging and stuff. So having a plan and journaling were the only two things that I needed to do the whole time to get out of the losing phase. And I avoided doing these two things for years. My business partner, he caught on early. He caught on very early. He was like, "Bro, why don't you just follow your plan?" And I'd make up every excuse of why I'm not going to follow my plan. Journaling trades. I was like, "Bro, I remember what happened. Obviously, it just happened in front of me. I remember it. Why would I write it down?" And I just literally did everything except for have a plan and journal my trades. And if I just had done those two things sooner, my profitability would have came like this. But instead, I tried to fight it because I wanted to be the exception to the rule. If you're struggling in your trading and you don't have a solid plan of action and you have not back tested to the point, and you're not journaling your trades before and after so you can review, I can guarantee you guys you're not going to see the success. But if you do those things, I can promise you that success is waiting for you. Those are the only two things that you got to do. Have a plan and journal and review. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, I'm not going to just keep sitting here waiting for this. I'm very, very happy that I was able to stick to my plan and I was able to unwind those sell positions, because I kind of felt, look, we all are susceptible to this. I entered these trades not really like 100% wanting to enter those trades. I saw it was about to turn around. I saw the rejection and I entered, but I'm just sitting here after 20 or 30 minutes. You know, when you make a decision and now you have to sit in the decision, and the more time you think about it, the more you start to ask yourself, what was I even thinking? That's what was starting to happen to me, but I stuck to my script, waited for the market to retrace, and when it retraced, I didn't get arrogant and start telling myself, "Oh, it's going to turn all the way around. Let me just hold all my positions." I made a choice to close them, to prioritize risk management, not to prioritize maximizing profits. And because of that, I was able to walk away with some profits. I was able to put my stops and break even. And now I can walk through my day knowing that I made the right decisions. So prioritize making the right choices, y'all, versus just trying to chase money, money, money. Imagine if this kids will try to go into the ring. Yeah, well, God help us. Sign the waiver. Let me know what questions you all have. Otherwise, we can just cut the stream, go on with our day. Let me know. Oh, and one last question. We did talk about having a referral program for the masterclass. If you guys are interested in being part of the referral program, you know a lot of trading friends that have been struggling. You've taken the class and you know that this is the right way for traders to go. and you've verified it for yourself, if you are willing to recommend a friend to join the NAS100 masterclass, that way you guys can both be on the same page about strategy, be able to talk to somebody that you know about trading for once and be on the same page, reach out to us to our email and we can add you to the list of individuals that are interested. But we do want to grow this thing organically. And I think the best way is that the folks who are genuinely benefiting from the programs can go out there and recommend this to a friend. And that's really all we want to do. I'm trying my best to stay away from the affiliate stuff because affiliates kind of have this like incentive to just keep pushing it, even if it's not working as well, even if it's not producing results, they keep pushing it. And I don't want people to just blindly push stuff. I want people who are succeeding from the program to go and just tell their story to a friend and get their friends on the right track. But also, we want to offer you something. And I don't even want it to be money because I feel like that also clouds the incentives here. What I actually want to do is if you recommend a friend, you get 3 months in the group chat. Because before the group chat was worth about $100 a month, and then we were going to bump it up to 150. But 100 a month means that for 3 months would be about a $300 value. If we opened up the group chat again, we wouldn't open it for less than $200 a month. So really, this is the equivalent of $600 of value being in the group chat. But take the price of the group chat aside, the environment and the opportunity to make money off the trades and to follow up on these trades and to re-execute and take entries and get quality feedback and then to look at them and to have a market outlook every day to prepare us for the next day. Those things are worth way more than whatever the money is that you would pay for the group chat. We don't want to open the group chat for everyone to come in because the environment here has to be, I only want people who are serious about trading in my group chat. This is not one of those join the free Telegram, let's get 50,000 people in here. This is, unless you're going to contribute positively to the conversation, you're not allowed in the group chats. But those of you that have taken the NAS100 masterclass, you are now an informed participant. So you've earned that privilege to be able to come in here and have that informed discussion with the rest of the traders. So if that's you, reach out to us ASAP. We would definitely like to talk to you, and we want to grow this thing organically and try to become the biggest name in Forex education and trading education because we're trying to do things the right way. And I feel like we're the last place that has our hands clean and teaching people the right qualities, the right qualities of risk and reward, having a plan, journaling, the boring stuff that will make you successful at trading. Juan says, love your stream all the way from South Africa. But how is your name Juan? You out here in South? Did you move there? I'm Confucius. IML was my starting point in Forex too. It probably was for any honest person. If you've been trading for more than 4 years, you were exposed to IML at some point. Well, you still want to talk about the process of obtaining an FTMO account? What are the steps for someone who's never attempted a challenge? Yeah, for sure. So what you can do is you can go to FTMO's website or any prop firm's website. Stop sharing this. Go to the client area here. Is there a front page? Nope. Okay, here we go. So if you go onto FTMO's website, right now I'm logged in, but you don't have to be logged in for this. You can choose whatever the currency is for your account, depending on the country that you're from. You can choose the risk mode. And so they typically had two different risk modes. They had normal and high risk. It seems like they took away the high risk for some reason. You can choose the account balance that you would like to apply for. So they go all the way from $10,000 to $200,000. And of course, you can scale up as well. So you can get multiple accounts. I believe the max that you can get funded right now is currently 400,000. And then there's a scale up option where if you're profitable for 3 months, they will add 25,000 to your account balance. And every 3 months that you don't lose the account on FTMO, they add another 25,000 to scale your account up. You have two different account types. The traditional account type is 1 to 100 leverage, but the FTMO swing account, which is the one that I use, you can hold trades overnight, which is why you guys see me hold trades through sessions, and you can hold trades over the weekend. You can also trade news releases. So these are the two things that most people were getting screwed with, including myself when I had the traditional account. If I traded during a news event, they would take the account from me, or they would deny me a payout. If I held over the weekend, they would deny me a payout for violating their rules. So the FTMO swing account makes it so I don't have to worry about holding past through sessions. I don't have to worry about trading through a news event, and I can just trade how I want. even if I have to accept a lower leverage. They're going to ask which platform you want to trade on. Again, everybody is slowly moving off of MetaTrader because MetaTrader is, I think, about to go under. Based on what I'm seeing right now, and oh shit, personal information here. Based on what I'm seeing, a lot of people are trying to get around the MetaTrader kind of failure and the regulations by going through one of these other platforms. They're using DX Trade, which is their equivalent of, I think, Trade Locker, if we're just going to be honest here. So you can go here, you'll pay money for the challenge. Um, Average pricing that you can expect is about, we have, okay, for the $10,000 account, it's about $100. For the 50K account, I think it's about $300. For the 100K account, I think it's about $400 or $500. And for the $200 account, I believe it's $900 to $1,100. Okay. So here's a big tip for these accounts. First, if you're going to buy a challenge, try to buy a challenge around holiday seasons because they always do some kind of giveaways. They're always doing discounts. So take advantage of those. You can load up on a few challenges. You don't have to start the challenge right away when you buy it. The challenge starts when you take your first trade. So if they're doing a holiday deal and you want to buy a challenge, you can keep it for another 2-3 weeks until the market conditions are appropriate. So that's another cheat code for how to take advantage of these. Now, how to pass the challenges, what I've learned from myself is that I mean, right now there's no more time limits, which used to be the biggest reason why traders would fail because traders put undue pressure on themselves. Now, because there's no time limit, really how I approach this is just try not to lose the account. Don't focus on making 10% returns. The rules are in order to pass the challenge and get access to the $100,000 account is you have to make 10% without losing 10%. What most traders do is they start to rush it, they force trades, and then what happens? They blow the account. So my tips to everybody is don't go too light in the challenge. Don't go the 1/4% risk route because it's been taking me so long to pass these challenges. And I feel like if I just traded 1% risk, I would still have been able to pass. 1% risk, taking 4 trades a week. Okay. So let's say that you're going for a 1-to-2 risk and reward ratio. If you lose 4 trades in a row, the worst that can happen the first week is that you're down 4%. Even if you have 2 losing weeks in a row with a 100% losing rate, after 2 weeks, you will still not lose the challenge. Okay. So, but on the upside, if you win all 4 trades, you'll be up 8% the first week. And if you win 1 trade after, the week after, you're going to pass. So if you're making 2% returns for risking 1%, you need 5 trades net, because you might have some losses in between, 5 trades net in order to pass the challenge. So your best bet is to practice your strategy until you can win 4 trades or 5 trades in a row. Now, are you going to have a losing streak sometimes on the prop firms? Of course, except that the first couple of trades might be a loss. But typically, you want to go 0.5% to 1% on the challenge because if you play with it too much, you're going to miss. Okay, here's my honest experience: is the trades that would have passed me the challenge, I'm going way too light on, and and it's taking me so much longer. And then because it's taking longer, I hit a losing streak, and then it sets me back, and then I have to build back better. So instead, what I do is I go a little bit heavier. Once I have the account, I go down to as low of a risk as possible. I go to a 1/4% or less. Some trades, you guys saw I showed the masterclass review folks my results yesterday. Some days I am risking a little bit above 1%. All right, I am going a little bit heavy. You guys saw the day where I lost 4,800. I was getting pretty close to the 5,000 mark. Not very happy with that. But I do want to keep my maximum daily loss under under a 0.5%, which is $1,000 on the 200K account. So when you have the account, there's no rush to trade it. Make sure that you're prioritizing not blowing the money. So it all starts with number one, have a positive expectancy system. Number two, have the self-discipline and the emotional maturity to apply this system over time. And then number three, have the ability to course correct as needed based on whatever the market is giving you. If there's no opportunities, Don't rush trades just for the sake of passing the challenge. It's better to just let this thing drag on than for you to force trades because you're getting impatient, especially because they all removed the time limits. All right. Is that clear to everybody? Put a one if that's clear. This is the master class on how to pass a prop firm challenge. Put a one if that makes sense. Okay. What group chat is that, Roy, in the Discord? Yes, George. We're talking about the private members Discord where I have my own channel where I basically just use it as an update channel on all the trades that I call. So if we're in the middle of a trade and it's looking ugly like this, I keep everybody updated so that we all have the confidence to hold these trades and to take advantage and make the most out of these opportunities. Okay, we also have the interactive section where other folks, shout out to Mike right here, people are posting their results and the people are posting their trade ideas. And I think that the collaborative environment here is amazing. We have one of our educators, Bryce, posting his trade idea for US 30 because he mostly uses this strategy, but on US 30. We got folks posting their results and their trade ideas and just having an interactive and sort of collaborative environment. This, I think, is important for traders to have accountability. You're not going to go here blow your account when all the boys, no one's blowing their accounts. You're going to be the only person like, oh, guys, ha, 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 I just blew my account. Everybody in the group chat is going to turn and look at you like, bro, how the fuck is that funny? Right? Now we are very supportive. There's a bunch of you guys that are just very supportive in the chats. You guys are gonna, oh, it's all right with that person, and I love it. All right, you guys do your thing, and I love the support. But you guys know my attitude on this. Thanks, Roy. Very informative. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer and for all the tips. Of course, that's what we're here for. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Melissa, or like John. But I'm still waiting for a few people to like explain what they said. Did the review happen? Because I got the emails, but no link to join. Chris, if you got the email and you registered, you would have gotten a link. Do I sell signals? We do, but I have not been calling signals for the past month and a half. We have a signals app called Enigma. You guys can head over to enigmafx.app to download the app. All right. These are mostly FX signals, and so these are not like day trading signals. It's not like every day we're sending them. They're mostly swing trading. Now, for the past month, the market has been very slow, and so there haven't been many signals called. What I would recommend for you guys is if you're planning on picking up an Enigma subscription for next year, which is only 97 a month, I would highly recommend that you guys grab one in January. All right? It's very easy. You just sign up, you download the app, and then you prepare for the signals. Okay, we have the tracker inside of the app already built. We have the trade signals as well as the before and after screenshots and kind of like the trade idea here. You can track the performance and results, the wins and losses on the app itself. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. But that's enigmafx.app. What I'd recommend is all of you guys learn this strategy for yourself. Get in the February masterclass. And then, of course, if you guys have any questions or if you'd like to refer a friend to the masterclass, please let us know. If you guys want 3 months access to the group chat, 3 months, let a good friend know. We'd be happy to have both of you guys. I have a good question on backtesting. Am I obligated to buy some TradingView platform to do that, or do we have another platform that has all the data? So, Andre, realistically, you can do backtesting for free with the TradingView free version, because all you have to do is when you're looking at every New York session and how the market reacts, and you're trying to find patterns in the New York session, you can remove all of the drawings and then just look at the timing at the bottom. You see how it shows the timing? This is Sunday. It shows it all the way at the bottom here in black. Sunday, December 17th at midnight or at 8 p.m. Okay. So you'll look at the time and say, when did New York market open happen? And just keep marking off the 9:30 market open candle, 9:30 market open candle, 9:30 market open candle. And if you do that enough times, you'll start to learn the patterns of what happens every morning at the market open. Now, with the premium feature, you have the luxury to be able to erase a certain part of the chart. And I'll just show this on the daily real quick. But you'll be able to erase a certain part of the chart and then trade this in real time as if you were doing it from scratch. So it'll erase everything. And then so if I want to take these trades and I want to practice my strategy, okay, I'll mark off a low. I'll draw my fib. I'll find the 88.6. And I'll just test if my strategy works over time. Okay. So we hit the 88.6, beautiful double bottom rejection. So obviously it's playing out. We almost hit stop loss, but the market closed back above the 88.6. I'm going to enter a bunch of positions here. And you can enter these simulated positions as well. Okay. It was very messy, but eventually it played out. And then you can mark that off and say, okay, the market, what was the size of the stop loss? Okay, it was 16 points. Let me see if I can move it a little bit further out to give myself a better shot. So at least 30 points is what I need in order to give it the margin of error. So this is why these different tools are useful, but you don't need to pay for any programs in order to get the best result. And damn it, I just lost all of my markups for showing this example. Oh, it's okay. Only takes a few seconds to get them all back. We just lost all the markups from the sessions before. It's all good. Here's the lows. Here's the previous highs. Not that I really need all of that. Okay, and then we have this massive bullish impulsive up. So then here's the next lows. All right. And clearly the market is just pushing off and establishing new highs. So I just look at these ranges whenever the market pushes off. I try to go through and see if it established a new range. We broke out of this whole area, which is cool. I just want to mark off these lows and I want to mark off these lows. So right now, all I really care about is this is the recent floor. So the market is either going to come back here to retest, or here's the floor below it. It's going to come back to this area to retest. Markets like to come back to previous buy levels to buy from. Just always remember that. So we have the highs of the range. We have the lows of the range. I'm going to measure this thing with a Fibonacci. All right. And now, since we're still seeing a retracement, I actually might draw my fib to the highs here. 1750 or 16,750 is still the same price. Whether I draw it to this high or this high, the entry only changes by a few points. That's why I'm not too pressed about, which zone is correct and what if I got the wrong zone and what if I didn't draw it correctly. I'm just going to go to this general area of 16,750. My take profit level right now is at 17,000, which is the higher time frame, 17,000. But really, I just want to go and trade my Fibonacci sequence. And so I'm looking at this extension level as my target, 16,856. And of course, last reminder, I got to throw this in before we hop off, is that the FX Summit 2024 conference is officially announced for November 15th to the 17th, November 15th to the 17th in Dubai. Now, the original location that we had signed for was Dubai Expo City. What we've realized is that we are on track right now to break 3,000 tickets, to have more than 3,000 traders come to the event. And so Dubai City or Expo City, excuse me, does not have the capacity for more than 3,000 people in one place. Okay, and it's way too hot to be outside because they have an outdoor location that would work, but that's not appropriate for us. So I'm now in contact with alternative venues that can fit 3,000 to 5,000 people because I'm convinced that Expo City is not going to be able to fit all the people that we have. And so we're going to announce the final location. But guys, either way, you're flying halfway across the world, whether it's 20 minutes away from the intended location or at Expo City. I don't think that's a reason for you to miss out on the 50% off discounts. You're like, well, no, it was 20 minutes away from the other location, so I'm gonna pay double the ticket price. That doesn't make any sense. All right. The tickets are discounted until the end of the year, and we might push off this discount in January, but more than likely we're going to end this discount at the end of the year. So if you're planning on showing up, make sure to take advantage. If you guys have anyone that wants to get involved, you can hit this get involved section here. For any sponsors, you guys can reach out directly and get on the wait list here. Our team will reach out to you. If you're an exhibitor, you can go directly here and then pre-order your booth. if you guys wanted to get in and have an exhibit during the conference. And if you guys wanted to come and volunteer, the volunteer list is already full. So just be mindful that this thing is extremely full. We also have an opportunity to become an affiliate. If you have a massive audience and you're bringing your entire team, you can benefit from talking about the conference and from encouraging folks to come. All right. FX Summit 2024 conference. Make sure not to miss out. I'd love to see all of you guys from the live streams there so that we can, have a private session for the live stream folks. And if you're in the NAS100 masterclass, 1,000% we're having our own private little meetup so that we can have a private class as well as just do something fun while we're out there for the boys and girls. Thanks, Roy. Very informative. Appreciate you taking the time to answer and all the tips. Of course, bro. Like the stream, you junkies. Lisa, I appreciate you. Thank you. You can undo, not if you're using the replay feature. If you delete all of your markups and then you go into the replay feature, when you X out of the replay feature and hit Command Z, or you go to the back feature, the markups are gone. It's horrible. Usually Wednesday and Monday are tough for indices. Well, it's the end of the year, guys. It's the last month of the year. What are we expecting here? That's what I meant, the private meetup. Yes, we're 100% going to have a private meetup because in whatever location we have, we're going to have small meeting rooms where we're going to be doing sessions going through. If you guys attended the last year's session, remember how Michaela and Shabs, they hosted the psychology session about trading? The room was packed out. There was people waiting outside the doors. Chris DiStefano had a class. Charlene FX had a class. I had a class that was killer. We had Skaggs and Abel Melendez from what's their company name? Is it Elite Capital? I think that's what it was. They ended up having their own class. So it was folks that I knew personally. Guys, Tron, TRX, and XRP did a joint class last year at the summit. It's insane. So those small classes I think are the most valuable and slept on part of the whole conference, and we will definitely be having a ton of those, and I will be teaching a few of those. Some will be open to the public, and some will only be exclusively available to NAS100 Masterclass folks. So do you have custom fib levels or default? Can't answer that question. I'd have to kill you. Roy, I sent you the info about the booth application. Thanks. Did you send it on Discord or what? Profit Society. That's what it was. Jason, I appreciate you. Shout out to Abel Melendez. My bad, bro. That's my guy. If I could say anybody from IML that actually had an impact on me in terms of learning the basics of technical analysis, I would say Abel Melendez is that dude. And so I don't care what anybody says, Abel is that dude. He took the same energy and time I'm giving to you guys. He gave that same energy and time to us. And I appreciate him immensely for it because he kept things simple and he allowed me to really start to build my own strategy off of those basics. Shout out to him. The workshops were insane and they're only going to get better next year. Trust me. Trust me. This is Roy the Realist. Yeah, I like that. Roy the Realist. Or Roy the Pragmatist. But I'm also a delusional optimist. So maybe I'm not the most. You got to be a little bit delusionally optimistic if you want to be successful in life. Because like take trading for example. You have to be a little bit delusional and you have to be optimistic. But you also have to be pragmatic. So here's what I mean. The odds of you succeeding at trading are less than 10%. You got to have a little bit of optimism to be like, oh, I can do it. You have to be a little bit delusional to be like, I'm going to beat all the odds. The odds don't matter. I will make this happen. But you also have to be pragmatic. Why are most people losing? Okay, so the only way to do it is to follow the rules that make successful trading possible. Okay, this is why most traders lose because they're just not willing to do this boring shit. They're not willing to backtest and have a plan and review their trading and to constantly be a student and to learn and not allow their ego to get in the way. You guys get what I'm saying? Tell me and kill me after I make 100K for my kids. But ain't nobody about to kill you. If you have a family, the last thing you should ever be thinking about is the loss of your own life. But if I had children, do you guys know how I'd be walking? I'd have ankle braces and shit. I ain't getting injured for shit, bro. I ain't getting hurt for nothing. My family needs me. All right, don't ever joke about some shit like that. God forbid. Roy, would you be interested in getting into contact with a hotel and working some deal for everyone who buys tickets? We're already doing that. The problem with the hotels is they want me to pay out of pocket for all the rooms first, and then they want me to go out there and sell the rooms to you guys. Now, I'll be honest, I can do it, and our team is prepared to handle that responsibility, but I saw the check that they want me to sign, and I ain't eager. All right? I saw too many fucking zeros. I saw two commas. Two fucking commas. One comma is my limit, people. I'm a one comma kind of guy. I ain't that rich. I'm a one comma kind of guy. So it got pretty tough. But we are in talks with Emirates, the airlines, to see if we can have some kind of promo code. That's what I'm trying my best. The only way that we'd be able to have a hotel deal where everybody can stay in the same place is if we host the conference at a hotel. Now, the only reason we can't do that is ain't no hotel that can fit all of us. Do you guys understand how big of an event that we have? I just went to a 10X event from Grant Cardone, and I went to Patrick Bet David's The Vault conference, which was down the street from me. And let me tell you guys, they both had less people than we had at FX Summit 2023. Hand on the Bible, they both had less people. I didn't mean Grant Cardone's event like the full 10X conference that was the 10,000 people one, but they host the 10X real estate conferences and they do those here locally at the Turnberry. They had less than 1,000 people. Well, they had like 1,200 people there. It is insane. Y'all got me? It is insane that we have a very small niche market at the F with Forex, and we're still able to beat some of these big social media brands. And so, yeah, we don't really have a location that can fit all of us, bro. We're dealing with a serious problem here. That's why I loved the location we've had for the past 2 years, which is the Miami Beach Convention Center. They had the ability for us, if we sold 5,000, 10,000 tickets, we'd be able to move things around and have a place for everyone. And some of these locations were limited, but we're working on it. Roy, I'm coming to the FX Summit. Greetings from Bulgaria. I'll meet you there. It's great to hear that, and I look forward to seeing you there, Jess. My guy just wants to feed his family. Give him the game, Roy. No, he's talking about feeding his family, and then I can kill him after. The fuck is the point? I just gave you guys more game than you'll ever need in the rest of your life. If you never attended another live stream, you now have enough information to go and be successful. The problem is that some people don't pay attention, right? And if you refuse to pay attention, there's nothing I can tell them that's going to help. All right. I'm more sure about this 886 entry than I have ever been before. Why? Because as the market continues to respect your fib levels, as it climbs, it further confirms that these levels are valid. So if the market comes back down here, it's a very high likelihood of success. So we respected, okay, so we have this fib kind of running, and then the market just pushed up to the negative 27 extension to reject it. We're still respecting the fibs. At some point, I think we're going to go close to the 61, come all the way back down, and this is where we will take the trade. Roy, you should do Summit 2025 back to Miami. Guys, Miami is too fucking expensive. Straight up. We're trying to throw the biggest event. We spent over $1 million on a 3-day weekend. Okay, we spent over $1 million on a 3-day weekend. And I don't think that would have had to happen if it wasn't Miami. I think that we're dealing with fucking the mafia down here when it comes to contractors and vendors and things. So we got to get a change. A lot of people were having an issue getting visas to come to the States because America is not very friendly when it comes to visitors. But you almost don't need a visa to go to Dubai, depending on what country you're in. So everyone can come to Dubai. We have the Asian community, we have the African community, we have the European crowd. Everyone can now come to the FX Summit without having to feel like this is just like an American, uniquely American and Miami thing. It's not. And I do want to get away from the Miami scene as well, because I think it's starting to put a negative, like it's starting to put a red flag on our industry. And my whole goal for starting the FX Summit was to push the industry forward, not hold us back. So we do need a change of scene. I want to go have some of those new faces out there. And so it's important that we leave Miami for sure. Roy, how are you so confident on drops? Do you watch supply and demand? Roy, how are you so confident on drops? On drops. What do you mean so confident on drops? He was going off your joke that you'd have to kill him if you told him. I said that because I was basically trying to tell him he ain't gonna get the sauce. I didn't tell him that to encourage him to want to die. All right. That's not what the fuck I was saying at all. Buddy, I love you. All right. Do not want harm for yourself. Just pay attention to the words coming out of my mouth. It'll make your life a lot easier. Said, hi, Roy, what's up? The fuck is this what's up stuff? Oh, this is Zach from Hopkins Automotive. Every day. Bro, car salesmen are the best at what they do. I'm trying to hire some car salesmen for the summit. I'm gonna tell you guys that much. All right, ladies, gents, grab your tickets. I'll catch you guys later. Happy and safe trading for the rest of the day. Make sure to be patient and wait for that entry. No retest, no entry. Tomorrow, there's two things that can happen, just so we kind of have a head start on tomorrow's trades. The market will either have pushed up, and then tomorrow it'll come retrace all the way back down, or we have a new floor here. And this new floor will become, the market will push, we'll measure it tomorrow, wherever the 886 is, that will become the new retest level. Okay? So we're either going to come back to this low or we're going to have formed a new low tomorrow. Only time will tell. Deal? All right, everybody. Leave a like on the way out. Take it easy, happy and safe trading, and peace. Next time, try to bring it to Johannesburg, Durban, or Cape Town. It will be much cheaper than the US or Dubai. South Africa, stand up. We might go to South Africa, people. All right, it's already 11:40.